just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on a memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. 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 I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. Oh, clear my head. I just need to clear my head.
Audio Jeremiah G. Righteous. Okay, enough music, enough frivolity. Let's get down to business, folks. Welcome along to the Harcourts Four Seasons auction room. My name's Mark, and delighted to be your auctioneer today. I'll represent some great boys, I think, our auction leaders, and Jeff and Bill Twiss, and also Andrew Saray. So we've got a couple of properties for your competitive bidding, and oh, what properties they are. Different types of properties, that is for sure, and as is where is in Russell Street in Maryvale, which we all love. So Jeffrey will get onto that one in just a minute. And then Andrew in his area that he knows so well, 8 Cridlin Place in that lovely cul-de-sac in Hallsville. So in a moment we'll get on to those auctions. I've got to run through a couple of formalities. I hope you've met the team. Greg Roberts, our principal, would have welcomed you through the door. And James Twiss is here as well, representing the team. Greg also manages at Belfast, keeps a wary eye on Jeffrey there and Bill. Easy job for him though. And Glenys French from our Hornby office is here looking after Andrew. This lady here is called Tarsal Roffey. She's standing in for Rachel today as our auction coordinator. She's got her pen at the ready to spot and record your bids. Jeremy Andrews, also part of the Hornby team. He's running our technology. He's running the online stream. So it's my poor old face that gets beamed across the internet to everybody watching on. So welcome to you. To our owners today, thank you for your instructions. We do appreciate it. 1986 is the year that our owners of Russell Street took possession of the property at number 87, so it's a significant day for the family And Jesse, thanks for the opportunity to sell Russell Street. The rules of auction, rightio, we better get busy. You might have memorised these from the front page of your auction agreement that your sales consultants made available to you. For some of you, it may be your first experience in the auction room, so let's work on that basis. And I tell you for a start that the confidential reserves have been struck. I've got them here in my virtual top pocket. I won't be disclosing those reserves to you bidders at large, but if you do reach the reserve or go past it, which is your job, of course, and you're the highest bidder at the end, well, hey, the hammer will fall and you'll win the auction. I'm just going to touch on the situation where we haven't met the reserve price in the bidding. We don't finish the auction. What I'll do is pause the auction and we'll have a chat with the highest bidder either in the main club rooms here or out in the shade or in the sunshine on the patio, just in private where I can say, hey, let's get you to be the buyer. So we'll have a good conversation at that point. I would just say that the whole thing is, at auction for you is to make sure your strongest bid is on show at all times. And I say that for a couple of reasons. Sometimes during the negotiation process, I'll get the message from the vendor to say, actually, Mark, I'm quite happy with that conclusion of the auction. Can you just return to the rostrum and announce to people that we've sold the property outside the room? It's been withdrawn. So that's why you need to be on top and having that one to have the opportunity. Doesn't happen all the time and not our vendors' prerogative at this stage, but they do have that right to do it. So just be wary if you're waiting with a little bit of extra interest. Also, don't go home with change if you can, because if the property doesn't sell, it gets put out to the entire marketplace. Conditional parties, they'll have their turn. They'll want to pay plenty for it. So make sure you get in there and enjoy the exclusivity of opportunity that we give you in the auction room. Now I've just got a couple of things that I can do in terms of nominating the bids and working with the bidding increments, but I do work with you and place no limitations on you. I can refuse bids not in the interest of the auction, and any dispute I just get to resolve which of the bids stand. If the team from Harcourts, and welcome to those from around the Harcourts network in Canterbury as well, if you're bidding for buyers, I identify you to the rest of the room. I think we may have a phone bidding authority floating around Jeffrey as well. That's quite a common thing. Now, just the last thing that I'll tell you is that, no, the second last thing I'll tell you is quite important as well, is that I've got the exclusive right to place vendor bids. Now, I'm only going to do that in the absence of your bids and only well below the reserve price. So if you hear me vendor bidding, it just means you need to get cracking. We've got some work to do. We're well below that reserve price. You need to bid higher. So only well below the reserve, as I say, but always made very, very clear by the auctioneer. Now's the last thing. If the hammer falls and you're the winner, good news, we'll give you a clap, but also a pen to sign the contract. The deposit you pay today is 10% of the purchase price. That goes into the Harcourts Four Seasons Trust account. And just an acknowledgement that you are eligible to buy real estate in New Zealand by way of that form. We've got a real estate authority sale and purchase agreements guide that you receive as the new owner as well. We'll go on to the first of the day. This mighty kauri, like I say, has been in ownership since 1986 at 87 Russell Street in Maryvale. We know the value of the area and how precious it is to our city, how important and integral it is to not only us but the people that have gone before us as well. Jeff Twiss, as I say, with Bill, have had the pleasure of marketing it, all 1,113 square metres of this parcel as well, which of course is a freehold estate. It is Lot 2, Deposited Plan 5726. You don't often see numbers as low as that, so it is a historic title. It's in Certificate of Title, Volume 332, Folio 234 in the Canterbury Land Registry. There's a couple of chattels that come along with it. The wood burner, of course, with that beautiful new flue that goes up through the upstairs story, and the fridge is going to stay with the property. Though, I do note Clause 23, we sell the property on an as-is, where-is basis, so you've done all your homework on that and represents a tremendous opportunity. Not that there's too many more of those opportunities around either, so it's a special one. We've got a settlement set down for the 27th of January next year. Can work you. If you've pre-arranged a different date and that's been agreed in writing, then we'll abide by that. Well, I certainly felt in the presence of greatness when I went through the gate at 87 Russell Street, not just because Bill Twiss was beside me, but because of the magnificence of the home. It's grand, it sits proudly on the site. It's really formidable and substantial. Yes, a historic home, but it's got a layout that's absolutely superb across the 2 levels, wide open living spaces and plenty of them, as well as bedrooms that are fit for a really big family. The master surely gets the master. My favourite spot in the home is just at the rear of the home. The kitchen opens out to that nice afternoon sunny deck. You've got the beautiful pool there and the pool area that surrounds 4-car garage and lots of section on the rear. You know, the homes that surround you, they're the very, very best. It's an as-is-where-is opportunity, but as Jeff was saying, in pretty good condition to market, so we appreciate the presentation, Jesse. But I can ask now for your opening bids, and ma'am, just in the nick of time, to start me away at 87 Rossall Street. Calling now for your opening bids. Who's done their homework? Who's going to dictate terms? We're not selling at 1.4. I can make that quite clear, at 1,400,000. So you're welcome to start at that low level if you like. What does your algorithm say in response to that? Prefer not to vendor bid, but I will if necessary. Pretty close to the village. What are we thinking, team? Sissy's bursting to bid, as normal. 1.4, yes. Yours or mine? Vendor bid to start. Oh, you're a little bit quiet. Come on, you don't get opportunities like this very often. But 1,113 square metres. And that perfect rectangle. Who's here to jangle? Vendor bid at 1.4. I suggest 50, just to make it easy.
50.
Michelle Fu, always there, 1.450, welcome in, good on you. And away we go. First live bid from the floor, they say. The opening bidder often wins at 1.450. I can state that's true. 1.5's next door bidder at 1.4.5 for the first time. Second time, the best school zones, proximity to the village, and for the private sewer. Don't like that body language. I thought you were going to say 1.5 for me. I'm just at 1.450 at the moment. Second call at the number. Third call. Bid in competition at 1.450. Ma'am, would you like to say 1.5? Just coming to watch. That's the third call. Okay. Well, Michelle, I'll bid once against you at 1.5. That would be my final vendor bid. Quite comfortable to do so. Value clearly at 1.5 must be better. Is it 1.550? Is it 1.6? You tell me. First call stays with the owners at that level. Second call. Third and final call. Do we just go straight to the open market? Jeffrey will have them lined up within minutes. 1.5, got to be better than that. Would you say 1.525? Maybe that would be a bid that you'd go for. 1.525, ma'am, you can't buy with a head movement in that direction. It's got to be like that. What's it to be? Give you a moment, otherwise we would just go through to that next stage. You need to see a bid in advance of that figure, Michelle. If you want the right to have a conversation, I need a bid above that vendor bid at 1.5. It is my last, just remember that. What's it to be? Searching the faces, seeing what the strategy is. Ma'am, you've got a bid again if you want the chance to have a conversation. There's no point below that figure, so I'd need to see a 20 or something like that from you if you want to have the chat to negotiate. You know you can't buy it at this level. At 1.5, if you want to let the... Only 2 auctions here, so we're all right till 4 o'clock. At 1,000,005. Looking your way, ma'am. I need to see any bid in advance of that figure. Auction's still open and live at this stage at 1.5. Like I say, if you want an exclusive negotiation, all you have to do is bid. At 1.5. You've done your homework, you've done your due diligence, it's there before you. At 1,005,000,000. What's it to be? $1.5 only. Rossall Street, Maryvale. At 1.5. A little bit of work to do, as you'll appreciate. Why don't you expedite? Okay, well, I'm withdrawing my vendor bid. We'll go back to 1,450. Okay, I'll go and talk to these people. See how we go. Okay, we'll negotiate that one, but we'll carry on in our program. So 8 Cridland Place in this beautiful spot in Hallsville, just tucked away down off Hallsville Road in that good bit of Hallsville off William Britton. It's a great spot to be. Andrew, I know how expert you are in this area, amongst many other areas, but this is, having been a resident yourself in this area, I know that you would testify to the quality of it. Andrew, of course, operates from our Hornby office and has done for some time, a leading exponent in the auction room. Thanks to Angela for your instructions and selling for the family, so we appreciate that very much. Take a look through the slides, people, while we run through it. 8 Cridland Place, freehold estate, 450 squares, nice and neat. Legals are absolutely exact, and unchanged chattel list. Settlement date 20th of January 23. It is a fine looking property, this one, and it's very well put together and very aesthetically pleasing, but I think you'll find the functionality of it is excellent as well. Obvious street appeal, cul-de-sac living is desirable, I know, and you're surrounded by other house-proud people who keep the place looking absolutely beautiful. Home between living accommodation, in fact, the whole east-west side of the north side is dedicated to living. Nice big lounge, flows well into the dining, but it's the connection to your patio and garden that I think you're going to spend a lot of time in. Modern kitchen, breakfast bar situation, again with the flow to the dining and lounge, just is going to work well, means you can stay in touch when you've got those duties of a day. 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The master enjoys the ensuite, walk-in robe, and walk out onto the outdoor area from your own bedroom. Look at that garden. I think, Leon, we're going to give you a bit of a plug for that because your lawn game is strong and the garden's looking good. So all in all, with the double internal access garage and being in the proximity, I visited early on Tuesday morning. There were people out walking their dogs, kids getting off to school. It's really quite a lovely community and one you would be proud to live in. Of course, you're not far from the Hallsville Domain. That's all go on the weekends. And again, for those who enjoy a bit of an active lifestyle, that'll be at the hub in Hallsville there, the main shopping centre. It's an absolute beauty, something there for absolutely everyone. Okay, we've got an opening bid. Who's going to start and who's going to get us underway? You here to bid and buy, sir? That's the question. Not selling at 600, we can tell you that for free. Could start there if you want. Is that a figure you'd like to bid? Should be a lot of hands up at that level. First call at 6, second call, third call. We'd all bid 600 for a home of this quality. 600, welcome in. Jay Wang from the team at Harcourts at 6. No vendor bids from me. If you're not here to bid, I'm not going to vendor bid against these people. First call at 6, second call, third call. It is just you and I, so why don't we come out and offer you the opportunity to buy? Wish you well, come on.
Presents are still just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, 87 Russell Street, as is where is on 1,113 square metres. Just a short discussion, but an increase in the bid to 1,550. I'm going to ask the floor if there's any better bid. If you would like to have a chat on the auction conditions, then we'd welcome a bid above that. If that's not going to happen, then I'm going to pass the property and put it back to Jeffrey's hands, and he goes to the wider market. Anyone want to have a chat with an exclusive opportunity? Anyone better than 1,550? We're ready to negotiate. I think we're better than a tad over 1,000 a square here. No? Okay, it goes back to your hands. Actually, Jeffrey, I'm not going to mislead. Are you sure you wouldn't like to have a bid? You sure? Okay, well I'm going to actually increase that to 1.6 on behalf of the owner, and we're going to welcome people with budget above that. So if you're in a conditional situation or otherwise now and you're better than 1.6, then you can have a chance to buy 87 Russell Street. So all the best to you out there. Good luck. I'm just going to get an update for you on Cridland.
Used to be the lost boy running insane. I used to be the ghost boy looking for fame. I used to work so hard to get it, so hard to get it. I used to be the one living in the fast lane. I used to be the one who only cried in the rain. I used to work so hard to get it, and so hard to get it. So hard to get it. to be the one living in the fast lane. Used to be the one who only cried in the rain. I used to work so hard to get it. It's so hard to get it. So hard to get it. I used to be the ghost boy running insane. I used to be the ghost boy looking for fame. I used to work so hard to get it. So hard to get it. I used to be the one living in the fast lane. I used to be the one who only cried in the rain. I used to work so hard to get it. So hard to get it. I used to be the lost boy running insane. Used to be the ghost boy looking for fame. I used to work so hard to get it.
Well, we're working with cash and unconditional people, but we didn't get there on Cridland either, Andrew. Look, they've come up, but not enough. Look, we'll pass it in at 690, and just encourage buyers above there. There's heaps of value above 690, so that's actually passed in on a vendor bid at 690. So nice and transparent. We're all very confident that the value's above that. So you need to talk to Andrew Sare really swiftly. And Andrew, I'm sure your phone will be ringing, as well as Jeffrey's above that 16 for 87 Rossall. So we've got a couple of properties available. Hey, good for those people coming along to bid, but for those of you who are in a conditional situation or otherwise, it's good news for you. So you've got the chance to get hold of two really excellent properties in their own right. So thanks for coming along, and we'll see you next week for our second last session, isn't it? Yeah, it is.